Hey guys, what's up, it's iFlynn here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to farm Mesa Prime and all of the weapons that came with her. Mesa Prime is awesome, as you can tell just by how she looks. She's a great frame to have. She's definitely one of the must-haves. The weapons are alright. I had a few people mention to me on stream that the Redeemer actually had a bugged critical chance. I'm not too sure if that is fixed yet, because there has been... Why does the list have to do this? There has been a few hotfixes in between the time that I was streaming yesterday and now, so... that is potentially fixed, but either way, the weapons are great. Like, they're usable, right? They're not, like, trash, like, worth writing off type of thing. Definitely get them. Mesa Prime, must-have frame for the looks, for the abilities, for the buffs. You get an energy, health, and armor buff, I believe, with Mesa Prime, so definitely a must-have, in my opinion, and now is the best time to farm her because everybody's farming her, right? So everybody's going out of their way to get the relics, and I'm going to show you guys how to get the relics. Now, with this video and all the other how to farm prime frame videos, I basically just show you guys how to do this long term, right? So instead of having to look up a video, you can literally find the information in game. Go to the codex, go to universe, go to relics and arcanes, and then type in the name of the prime frame or weapon that you're looking to farm up in the top left hand corner, right? So we want to farm Mesa Prime. There you go. Here are the relics for Mesa. If we click on one of the relics, it shows us the drop locations, right? Drop sources. It lists all the syndicates because of the relic packs, and then all these other places here. So the next question is, what is the best place? It's really down to you. It depends what you need to do and what resources you need to farm, if you need to level weapons, or if you're just going out of your way to farm the relics, right? So for lift relics, I usually recommend either Orc and Derelict Defense, as listed, if I can find it here, Orc and Derelict Defense, or Spear on Mars. And the reason for this being, really easy missions, you know, Orc and Derelict Defenses versus Infested, and then Spear on Mars versus Corpus. Not too difficult enemies to kill, right? So just bring like an AoE damage frame like Equinox, Saren, etc. And you can go through like 15 waves of each of those planets or locations really, really fast and get these relics really, really quickly, right? But that being said, there are other places that you can farm these relics if you need to do other things on top of that, right? So usually I'd recommend defense missions, interception missions, and excavation missions, right? That's what I would do personally, but of course there is other ways, such as maybe capture missions if you want to speedrun those. That's totally fine as well. Moving on to the likes of Neo relics. Neo and Axie are kind of put in the same category whenever it comes to this. That first lift relic, by the way, was for Mesa Prime Neuroptics, which is actually a rare part, so get farming this ASAP. Neo relics and Axie relics, I group into the same category. These I like to farm on Xeni on Eris, right? So if we can find Eris on the list right here, Xeni right here. The reason for that being, interception mission versus infested, bring a limbo, max range, max duration, press 4, then press 2. Any infested to try to come on the interception point is just going to be frozen. 4 times limbos in your squad, right? And then that's it, easy peasy. All you have to do is stand there and jump around and do whatever. You don't have to do anything too insane. You can kill them for the resources, totally fine, but you could like just AFK and move before the little score counter hits 100%, and then you'd still get your relic reward, right? So you would get a relic reward per every single rotation on Xeni on Eris, which is why it's such a great place to farm these relics, right? So you get rotation A and, yeah, rotation A you would get Neo, and then rotation B and C you'd get Axie, I believe. I think that's how it works off the top of my head. So, yeah. That was for the Mesa Prime Systems, which is also rare, and then the Neo Z2 is for the Mesa Prime Blueprint, and then last but not least on the Axie Hitch 4, like we also farm from Xeni on Eris, you get the Mesa Prime Chassis, right? So moving on to the Akjagara and the Redeemer, if I can remember how to spell Akjagara. Lotus, stop talking, I'm trying to teach people stuff. Thank you. Okay, awesome. So Mesa Relics, I go to Io and Jupiter, because neural sensors, easy enemies to kill. You can spawn kill them with Equinox, like just put an Intensify on a max range Equinox build and it'll spawn kill them. It's insane. And then this is where you get your Akjagara Prime Barrel from the Meso A1 relic. We've got the Meso M2 relic, which drops the Prime Link. Then we have the Axie L3, which drops the Prime Receiver. You get this from Xeni on Eris. Neo S9. Akjagara Prime Blueprint, which drops again from Xeni on Eris. And then when we move on to the Redeemer, we got a Mesa Z2, can't speak. You get this from Io and Jupiter, which drops the Redeemer Prime Blade. We got the Axie R2 Xeneon Eris, which drops the Redeemer Prime Handle. And we got the Lift B6 Working Derelict Defense Spear on Mars, which drops the Redeemer Prime Blueprint. Awesome, cool. So that's how you get all of your relics. That's the recommended places that I would go to farm them. The ones that are grayed out are ones that you haven't got in your inventory. The ones that are light are ones that you have got. Another tip for maximizing kind of your farming efficiency, if you go down to your little kiosk right here, you can type in the names of the things that you're farming. So if you type in Mesa, there you go. I have a Radiant to Lift M3. So for the Mesa Prime Neuroptics, it'll show up. Just tab through all the things and you'll see the relics that you have for that particular Prime Warframe or weapon that you're looking to farm, right? Instead of having to shift through and find all that other stuff. So Akjagara, I forget how to spell it. There it is right there. Prime Blueprint, and then we have the Redeemer. Spelled it wrong. There you go. We got the Redeemer Prime Blade. So yeah, I would farm up traces by doing capture missions, right? So Void Fisher capture missions is what I would do, the speed farm traces, and then hop out of that, radiate the relics for the ones that have the rare parts that you need, and then just do whatever it is. Make sure you're doing like a rad share grip where one person uses their rad relic, the other 3 players use something that is completely different to what you're farming, and then you take turns at using that one radiant relic. You can use them all at the same time, but what happens if, you know, both of you get like the Mesa Prime Neuroptics, right? So you just missed out on one Mesa Prime Neuroptics because like you all used your radiant relic at the same time, which kind of sucks, right? So you're better maximizing your chances in doing multiple runs with one person using the radiant relic at one time than everybody using their radiant relic all together, right? And other than that, I can kind of show you the setup that I have for the Prime Frame, right? Or this. You see, I turn on the what's it called? The dialogue, because in the new update, the heists, but then I forget to turn it off for a video. I'm like, my god. So this is the build that I'm running, Umbral build, 306% duration, 130% efficiency, 44% range, and 160% strength. Range doesn't affect Redeemers, common misconception. Strength helps out with Redeemers, but realistically you're only looking for 145%, which is 1 regular Intensify plus Power Drift for the 95% damage reduction on your free, and then the rest you just stack in the duration because you want to keep your secondary buff, your second ability buff and your Shatter Shield buff up for as long as possible. So if we take a look at the stats, we've got 18 energy in the 1, doesn't really matter, I never used this. We got a 41.88% damage buff in Shooting Gallery, then we have a 95% damage reduction buff on Shatter Shield, and Shooting Gallery lasts for 91 seconds, running up to 92. Then we got Shatter Shield lasting for 66 seconds, right? Awesome, cool. And of course we have our, we got our Peacemaker with a 2.5 times multiplier and 3.75 energy per second, which is the lowest you can get. We've got my Akjagara Prime, not fully leveled, but definitely fully formed, where I have my Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent for my damage. Then I've got my Prime Target Cracker, Prime Pistol Gambit for my critical damage, critical chance. I've got my Pathogen Runs and Convulsion for my Elemental. And then I have one spot here for either Expel mods, Augur Pact, Hydraulic Crosshairs, a third element, whatever. So I, do this to throw in a third element. I put my corrosive mods beside one another, and then I have my third element in the first slot. And then for the Redeemer, because the crit was bugged yesterday at least, I went ahead and I made a build like this, but I will be looking for a rhythm for this to buff up those that status chance base and have like attack speed and melee damage and whatnot, and then make this for a condition overload crit hybrid instead of having just this weird mess, because right now I'm running magnetic and gas damage on it, and that's because I was doing the orb fights yesterday. It requires to have, I just hit my microphone, it requires to have different damage types, right? So I was running this so I could damage him during the gas and magnetic phase of that fight instead of shifting through it. And like maybe if I had random teammates who didn't know what they were doing and they kept on changing the damage type by accident, So that's why this is built like how it's built at the minute, which is kind of meh. But yeah, I mean, I really like Mesa Prime. I think she's great. I'm kind of sad that like regular Mesa is now being like just bye-bye regular Mesa, It's a big old upsetty spaghetti. 168%, 130, 306, making sure that my stats are the same, because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same build. I can't remember. Boop, boop. Let's see. Yeah, it's the exact same build. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that my regular Mesa is now just gonna be neglected. I don't like the floaty bits on the bottom of my Mesa Prime, and she also has an alt helmet. So if we take a look at that, I guess this is what you get from the Prime Access. It looks alright. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I prefer the first one, I guess, but I don't know. The first one looks a lot better. And then we got, like, what, a Sagatra and something else. So if we take a look at the Sagatra, is it this one? It looks alright, you know. And then I think we got some operator cosmetic as well. If I can take a look at that, that would be cool. Where are we at? Oh, I actually have to go down to the guy. Sad about it. No worries though. I wonder what we even got. I don't know. I bought it without even looking. So, is it this one? I think it's this one. Respa Prime Mask. But I need to get rid of my my what's it called so we can see it. Yeah, I like it. It's alright. Nothing insane. Looks decent. It's cool. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for how to farm Mesa. That's the Prime Access and everything that I've done with it so far. So if you guys enjoyed, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.